On the road to MotoGP, this is FAB-Racing.
Next up, we will have the Senior MiniMoto class, the first race of the day. We stick with the MiniMoto theme, but of course, slightly bigger riders on these bikes. And these riders, they're full-blown adults on kids' motorcycles, so it's great to see, and it's such a great turnout to this class. A 19-rider field here, and it's going to be great to see what is going to happen. You can see 96 right-hand side of your screen, Will Howarth making his return after an injury last year. So these, it may look quite funny. It may look quite funny to you, Andy, because it's.
I'm in awe of their flexibility to be able to contort their bodies to this degree. It's certainly something I can't do. So very athletic, and how they're going to stay on exactly.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive, because these are full-grown adults on, just like the bikes which you've seen slightly faster are the senior motorcycles, but it's going to be a great race. And on pole position for race one of the first race of the day for the Senior MiniMoto class will be Josh Birkins with a 57.441. Mark Payne will line up alongside him in second place. Jensen Bishop will start in third with Will Howarth alongside him. Nick Bennett will start in the third row of the grid with Rhys Gentry alongside them. David Maya will start in seventh with Holly Harris in eighth. British Talent rider last season and Junior Supersport this year. Chris Yeomans will start in ninth with Callum White in 10th. Keaton Payne will start in 11th with Alberto Vinteo running up at top 12. Lamar Morgan will start in 13th with Gary Eldrig will start in 14th. Jerome Richards will start in 15th. Rob Gentry 16th. And there's already been a crash actually on the warm-up lap, so these riders pushing straight away.
I think that was actually our second crash on the cycle lap. So the riders just there we go, an actual pull start going on as well for car 22.
David Maya.
So an accident on the early point. So we're getting our first hint at some highlights at the end of the day, which we'll be running highlights through lunchtime as well. Lunch scheduled after the Extreme 200 race and two races after the. The MK Mini GP 50 race 2 will be the one before lunch. So plenty of racing still to come for that, and you can see some of these adults are certainly not on the small side.
Yeah, they're not on the small side, but it's MiniMoto GP. Let's just call it that. These riders are waiting. These riders will be wanting to take the race win, and actually I believe that might be David Mayak going off the grid at the start. So clearly couldn't get his bike sorted, and now the riders waiting for the lights to go on, and we wait for the lights to go on, and the lights go out, and we go racing, and it's going to be Josh Birkins who battles for the race lead towards the race.
In the front.
Yeah, and Nick Bennett getting a great start actually on the 711, and he takes the race, he battles for a race lead anyway going into the first chicane, but can he make it work? No, he cannot. Will Howarth there back in your picture, trying to get his confidence back up from his crash last season. Sits in third position is Will Howarth, so it's going to be great to see. I believe he'll also be racing in the Moto team once again, of course, winning the championship last year. Holly Harris there leading the pack, one of our female riders here at Fab. We have plenty of female riders starting their racing careers here at Fab Racing, so it's so great to see. But yeah, Mark Payne showing his pace straight away, the number 18. So Josh Birkins
getting into the infield section there. Mark Payne getting a little bit out of shape, perhaps just over pushing on the brakes going into the infield, which of course even the adults have to take. And there's another slowing bike on the outside heading into the pits, but it will be Mark Payne. Nick Bennett taking second place then from Will Howarth.
Yeah, he said, well, Matt Birkin is in 8th position now. He started from the back of the grid because he couldn't make it in time for qualifying. But Will Howarth taking the race lead and showing his pace early on. But actually, pole position man Josh Birkins, I do not see him anywhere to Will Howarth at the front in in this group of 4 riders. Nick Bennett trying to find any way past in that second position, but they cannot do it in the back section of the circuit. Nick Bennett actually pushed down to 3rd position. Right behind him is Rhys Gentry in them black and orange levers. So it's so great to see these riders having such close racing, even though they have such tall bodies on these small bikes.
Yeah, Holly Harris is in 6th place currently, 1 down from the previous lap, with Chris Yeomans making the move forward, and the gap's starting to open up here between the top 4, Lewis.
Yeah, it certainly is. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. 7 laps to go in this race. Just 2 minutes have gone in this race. It's such quick lap times. 56 seconds with such a tall body and extra weight on these bikes compared to maybe what it's designed for. So it's so impressive to see them ragging around these bikes in 56-second lap times. So the Senior MiniMoto class always seems to impress me. It's always so impressive what they can do. Getting their knee down through that corner. They really have to in these bikes. They don't have too far to go, to be fair, to get their knee down with them being such long legs and such a small bike. Will Howarth is looking so impressive. He had such a big high side last year, but there's Nick Bennett leading the way on the 711 into the infield section. Just behind him is Mark Payne, and these riders really pushing on from the get-go. 7 laps to go in this race, and the first race of the day. It's been quite a while since they were out at warm-up, of course. Yeah,
and it does look like Nick Bennett just struggling to get comfortable at the moment on the bike, adjusting his weight frequently, checking down at his machine as well. He's leaning very far forward on the throttle.
Yeah, he certainly is. And Nick Bennett, you can just see the gap that already Will Howarth has in them. So it looks like Will Howarth might even run away. Of course, Will Howarth, whenever he's racing in this class, usually has the 2 Birkin brothers battling him. But there is Matt Birkin struggling to get past him. Oh, there's a rider down there. So we're going to have to wait and see if he can get back up on his feet and if he can get restarted. And it looks like
there is a tyre wall in front of those brambles. They haven't gone straight into the thing.
Yeah, they certainly have. But the battle is raging on all the way throughout the field. There is the remaining riders in this. Oh, you can just see the front end tucked there actually on Matt Birkin's motorcycle. So he lost his drive out the corner. He had to shut off and save that front end before he crashed. And actually, it looks like it's Mark Payne who crashed there on the back end of the circuit. A bent handlebar slightly, trying to get a hit back into position and get back into the race with just 5 laps to go. So you can see Will Howarth leading the way. You can see the gap that he's already made from Matt Birkin. Matt Birkin actually looks like he's managed to recover from that moment he had, almost crashing out, and managed just to keep himself calm and regain his confidence and regain his position. Although it's a 4.7 second gap to first position, he'll still be pushing on.
Absolutely. We've got a very tight battle just in front of this rider we're currently tracking that's happening. So we're hoping to get you some another angle of that if possible, but there you can see the very different rider body sizes and shapes on these tiny little machines, and you can see a female rider a mile off with some of these big guys on the bikes.
Yeah, you certainly can. You can just see how fast you have to be. Alberto Venteo trying his hardest there. He had quite a few mechanicals last season, did Alberto Venteo, but he is back this year and he's back pushing on. He's back battling 4 positions and battling 4 great positions. 4 laps to go in this race, and we can just see the battle further back down the field. So it's so great to see, no matter what ability you have, no matter what pace you're running, you're still going to be able to get a race in the Senior MiniMoto class.
Small mistake there for the red, white and blue liveried rider, and he's getting past straight away. We've got another rider off at the moment. He's got purple on his bike and his black and white overalls, but I think he's given it up. He's sat himself down and he's given up this race for it's not going anywhere for him. But it's Will Howarth in the front of the field, 3.4 seconds ahead of Birkin, and then Rhys Gentry another further 2.6 seconds back. But we do have a battle for that 3rd place once again with 3 laps to go for the leaders.
Yeah, so Jerome Richards stopping out on track and sitting on the tyre wall, but there's Holly Harris trying to find any way passing, getting through some back markers there. So Holly Harris putting on the pace straight away. It's so great to see her coming back to FAB-Racing, of course, this year, and getting past Green Street there, of course. The Green Street's also racing in the Mini F1 sidecars later on today. But yeah, it's so great to see Isaac Greenstreet in the Senior MiniMoto class. But Holly Harris right now is chasing Chris Yeomans at the moment in number 85. So what can Holly Harris do? You can clearly see by her body language she is pushing.
Absolutely, yeah, exploring the limits of grip and the racing lines as well. She was passed by Chris Yeomans earlier, but it looks like she's getting quicker as the race progresses.
Yeah, she certainly is. Chris Yeomans going into the infield section now, braking and turning in. You can just see the pace that these riders have. But Will Howarth, number 96, the black and white bike, leads the way. Will Howarth has great pace last year. He just set a personal best, actually, a 56.4. Now Matt Birkin has the fastest lap of the race with a 55.6. These riders already pushing on from qualifying. They're around 2 seconds quicker is the fastest lap from qualifying. So Chris Yeomans still defending from Holly Harris with just 2 laps to go in this race. It's not got long before she needs to start making the move.
This hasn't run to a finish yet. She's closing up as they go into the final corner, and she's right down low, almost completely off the bike, coming out of the final corner with 2 to go, as you say.
Yeah, just 2 laps to go in this race. What can Holly Harris do? But what can this man do? Will Howarth, well, it looks like he just needs to keep calm. But actually, Matt Birkin has set a 55.3, and this race is not over. 0.6 of a second is the gap to first place. So Matt Birkin now looks like he's built up his confidence. Matt Birkin's down. Matt Birkin has crashed out of second position. That looks like the race is over and he's not going to be able to win the race.
He's doing his best to get back running.
Can he stay on the podium?
I think he's going to try and salvage this podium. He's still in second place. Is Matt Birkin, of course, completely lost the battle for the lead. Whether that bike is churned up with grass, because he was well off onto the grass and had to run a fair amount on the slicks. It's going to be a while before he's fast again. But car 96, Will Howarth, coming into the final sector now, Lewis.
Yeah, Will Howarth come for the final sector. He won't have as much pressure this time around, but here we go for the final lap of the race. Matt Birkin, 1 lap ago, was just 0.6 behind, and now he is quite far behind. Will Howarth, he just needs to stay on,
and it's a win then for Will Howarth. That was the checkered flag. So we confirmed on our timing screens it was a checkered flag then, and win for Will Howarth from Matt Birkin and Rhys Gentry in the end, who pipped Nick Bennett, Chris Yeomans and Holly Harris. Lewis didn't find a way past in the end.
Yeah, it's such a hard track to be able to overtake on, so we're going to have to wait and see what can Holly Harris do later on today, because of course one more race coming up. These riders have 2 races today on the Sunday, so still loads of races come up in general today. Around 17 races left, and of course Senior MiniMoto guys will be out again, with everyone wanting to beat Will Howarth as he wins by 10.2 seconds over Matt Birkin.
Quite a few mechanicals in that one and stoppages. Why are we seeing more failures on the bikes in this class than in the previous ones?
Well, I don't really know, to be honest. Maybe just a bit more stress on the motor, a bit more weight to carry on, and really having to push more. These riders, of course, will be giving it absolutely everything. The Senior MiniMoto riders, it's such a unique class because, of course, they are adults racing kids' bikes for a start, and on track, they're fierce. They battle, they're elbow to elbow, but off circuit, they'll in the paddock, just sit down, have a drink, have dinner with the fellow competitors, and just have a laugh. So it's so great to see that they're just here just for some fun. Yeah,
so just 12 finishes then in that one, and it was Jerome Richards it was Isaac Greenstreet who brought up the rear at the end, and we're seeing provisional results at the moment on our timing screens. So when we get the officials, of course, we'll let you know.
Yep, great race. Riders making the way into the pit lane, then into the paddock to rest up for a little bit before they go out after the lunch break here today. So it's so great to see these riders having close battles, and you can see one of the MiniMoto riders actually picking up the bike and pushing it down the pit lane.
Yeah, maybe a hint of some backache, or is it just it's just complete failure and the rear axle lock possibly?
Yeah, that I believe is the number 88 of Jerome Richards, just pushing his bike into the pits and then into the paddock. You can see coming through the chicane of barriers, but here we go, there's more to come, so stay tuned here on Motorsport Radio and FAB-Racing. So next up today will be the Senior MiniMoto class. It will be their race free. That'll be the end of their round one. Of course, it's a long weekend. It's a double header here at FAB. The riders are waiting patiently to come out of the holding area before the racing gets underway. It should be a 9-lap race for the Senior MiniMoto guys. Matt Birkin will have to start from the back of the grid after missing qualifying yesterday. What can he do? Can he put in the performance that he did earlier on today? Although a slight slip-off, it was still so impressive.
Oh, very, very impressive from the back, of course. Yeah, but it'll be Josh Birkin at the front of our field who will take the pole position and the first position, of course, on the grid on the inside of turn one. But we have seen riders get the whole shot from all manner of positions on the grid here so far today. So I'm not quite sure how important qualifying is. You've got to really nail it in these races. There is bike 96, who is Will Howarth, indeed, on the second row. So just the first one to his grid.
So Will Howarth there waiting. He's waiting patiently. I think it's fair to say he just laid his stance on the grid, one hand on his leg. But Josh Birkins, it looks like actually a new bike, and I don't believe he finished the race earlier on today. We didn't see him in the battle like we normally would anyway. So Josh Birkins, some impact that he hopefully can make in this race. But Josh Birkins will begin this race from pole position after setting a 57.441 in qualifying. Mark Payne will be alongside him in second position, with Jensen Bishop and Will Howarth on the second row of the grid. Nick Bennett and Rhys Gentry will be on the third row of the grid in fifth and sixth, with David Maya and Holly Harris in 7th and 8th position. Chris Yeomans will start in 9th, with Callum White alongside him. Keaton Payne will start 11th, with Alberto Venteo in 12th. Lamar Morgan will be behind them, with Gary Eldrig starting on 7th row with him. Jerome Richards will be starting in 15th, with Rob Gentry 16th, Steve Jones 17th, and Isaac Greenstreet 18th, with Matt Birkin rounding out our field. And I'm sure Matt Birkin will not finish in 19th position after this race starts.
Well, let's wait and see if he can move himself forward without incident or accident. Of course, that's the other thing when you've got to come through the field, is managing to navigate lots of potentially slower riders around a technical, tricky circuit. And they will be using the infield as well for the Senior MiniMotos, and you can expect absolute chaos from these riders. Massive units on tiny little bikes.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what is going to happen. It's going to be a great race, I'm sure, because Matt Birkin, as you said, has to make his way through the field, and with it being a Senior MiniMoto field, some people might just want to annoy him and make his life slightly more difficult and defend slightly harder than what they normally would. But the point to the light is made, and we look to lights. Lights are on, and the lights are off after a very long hold, and Josh Birkin should get the whole shot. So Josh Birkin leads the way, and I believe that is going to be Will Howarth making it all the way to second position and already fighting for the race lead. Yes, it is. Will Howarth make any impact on the second chicane for the race lead? No, he cannot. Nick Bennett is in third position on the 711 bike, with Gentry just behind this, leading 4 bikes. Looks to be so quick and looks to be another step above everyone else, but Matt Birkin off the line, 15th position already.
Fantastic. Great breakaway from the top 4 here. That is Josh Birkin holding off at the moment Mark Payne and holding off Will Howarth, who did so well earlier on, and as they combine into the very tricky infield section, they really close up very tightly. There you've got fantastic competitiveness and crowding over their bikes as bike 96 goes down the inside. That's Will Howarth for the lead in the start of end of lap 1 even.
Yeah, Josh Birkin has to find more pace than what he currently has. 0.8 of a second last lap. Will Howarth was faster than him, and he cannot let Will Howarth get that clear track, because look at the gap already starting to form. It is incredible what Will Howarth's doing. He pushes that Minimoto so quick, but look who that is. That's Matt Birkin looking down the inside of Gentry. Will he make it work for 4th position already? Matt Birkin looks to have the pace. Matt Birkin in 4th position. His last lap was a 1:06. So yeah, very, very quick times. He's already at the back of Nick Bennett.
That's insane. He's come up from the back of the grid, but no,
high side.
No, a real moment there as he tumbles off the bike, gets back on it again, and losing place. His hand over fist is Matt Birkin. It was all going so well, but just pushed too hard.
Yeah, he did. Got too early on that throttle, too much lean angle on the bike high side, and flicked him up into the air. It's quite a big crash for a Minimoto, but Matt Birkin, he will regain himself. Of course, the Birkin brothers last year, they had quite a few incidents. They're known for just pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries on these bikes, and getting back up and doing it all again. And look at him already on the pace. He's still ahead of Holly Harris in 8th position. So now I believe he's just got past David Mayat, so he should be in around 6th, 7th position at the moment for Matt Birkin.
Back where he was with the accident. He got going so quickly.
Yeah, exactly. He practically held the bike mid-air to be able to get and not let it stall. So, Matt Birkin, what can he do? Because at the front, Will Howarth, a 56.8, 1 second gap, as Holly Harris is getting put under some major pressure at the moment from some bikes there. One of those bikes actually is Alberto Venteo, who's having a great result so far this race. He's had some mechanical issues last year, looks to be better this year, and he looks to be able to fight at the front. But yeah, Matt Birkin, 6th position still, so great riders. Holly
Reached
Harris.
entry dropping down the field on that lap as well, dropping all the way down to 13th at the moment. We'll see if Gary Eldridge can get past, but it's Will Howarth at the lead of our race by 1.4 seconds, and we've got Josh Birkin in 2nd position, Nick Bennett, Chris Yeomans, Mark Payne, Matt Birkin all the way up from the back in 6th.
Yeah, so disappointing that'll be for Reach Entry to be able to not finish this one, as he actually is pulled into the pit lane. He's pushing the bike down the pit lane, but Holly Harris has been passed by Callum White, and so what can she do? She looks round the outside. Will she make it work? The previous British Talent Cup rider, now British Junior Supersport rider, looks to find any way past. She's so quick at BSB, and now she's so quick at FAB. She looks down the inside at the hairpin.
It's got to be this time for Venteo,
infield.
and it is. It's Venteo down the inside. He practiced that move on the previous lap, but he's quickly beaten again by Holly Harris, who was just smoothly out of the corner. No panic there at all, Lewis.
Yeah, Holly Harris keeping it calm, keeping it cool, and looking ahead, because ahead of Holly Harris is David Mayat, so Callum White and Holly Harris continue to have this battle, and if they mess up at all, it'll be Alberto Venteo who takes the score on the number 44. So, Will Howarth in 1st position, the number 96, he's still in 1st, as this battle is raging on for midfield for the final positions within the top 10.
Tremendous to see them still pushing so hard, as on the inside again of David Mayat was at that time, so making a great move, and suddenly releasing some pace now, as Venteo has to be trapped, potentially trapped behind David Mayat right now. So Holly Harris might be able to run away from this battle.
Yeah, Holly Harris, if she can get away from there, get away from all these guys that are battling, she can put in her own laps, put in her own pace in the crew trap. But Matt Birkin, a 56 flat now from him. What a lap that is, and the lap record round here is of course held by Will Howarth with a 54.9, so still 1.1 seconds away, but the track is heating up today, I think that is fair to say. Hopefully as it's rubbered in tomorrow, it'll be even quicker, but right now, Matt Birkin, so impressive, 4th position.
Absolutely incredible, honestly, and to have had that moment as well, coming off the bike. Tremendous stuff from Matt. He's got his brother up in 2nd position, and Will Howarth in 1st. Nick Bennett between them at the moment, but that gap is only 2.1 seconds between 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, so right now, Will Howarth on the number 96 leads the way from Josh Birkins on the number 2. Now Josh Birkins is right there on that black bike, and he's got a brand new bike this year. It doesn't appear that he actually has a number on it, but David Mayat on the 711 is in 4th position. He lost the place that lap from Matt Birkin. Is Matt Birkin, the real question is, will he be able to chase his brother? There's Matt Birkin on your screen trying to chase his brother Josh.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's now up into 3rd position with Nick Bennett in the 711 Cup bike. Come on, in the 11, who is clearly giving up some pace here to the Birkins.
Yeah, now we approach some back markers actually, so it looks like Matt Birkin might have just got away with that one, as Nick Bennett there also coming through some back markers towards the end of the field section. You can just see that gap already building actually to Matt Birkin.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see at the line what the gap is between the brothers. Previously, 4.261 of a second. Keep that number in mind as they come towards the final corner. They power out, and Josh Birkin and Matt Birkin now separated by 2.6.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a double Birkin podium, but in which order? And it's 2 laps to go now for the leaders. Will Howarth at the front of the field. He'll be pleased to let the Birkins fight for a little bit, I think, to try and get this race win. Will Howarth out there in front, but having it all his own way. I don't think it's not time to relax just yet.
Yeah, it's actually not time to relax just yet. 1.9 seconds already the gap. So Josh Birkin's clearly pushing on as well. Maybe we'll have just having a quick breather before he goes back to pushing for the final 2 laps. But Matt Birkin, great ride from him. Matt Birkin actually will not be racing tomorrow here at round 2 due to other commitments. But this man here, Will Howarth, is completely committed to the bike, completely committed to this race, and you can see it. Almost put his knee on the grass every single corner, using all the track. And that is how, ladies and gentlemen, you win a race. 1 lap to go, the final lap time now. Matt Birkin is ahead of Josh Birkin. Matt Birkin at 55.9 last time around, 3.6 seconds separated himself and Will Howarth.
I think we must have had a problem there for Josh, who was significantly slower, 5 seconds slower over the lap distance. So I'm assuming he must have gone off at that issue, but Will Howarth is away. Will Howarth then looking absolutely brilliant in this race, led from the front, and it's brilliant stuff. He's going down into the infield, just one more back marker out of the way, looking brilliant, and through the loop, and he's pushing super hard. He is going to do this one, and it's just one more corner to go then for Will Howarth, who is going to take another win. He rounds the corner. Beautiful shape on the bike and beautiful performance from Will Howarth in first position, wins the race, and then Matt Birkin, absolutely extraordinary, from the back of the grid, brought that gap down to 1.7 seconds with a fastest lap on the final lap of 55.939, and Josh Birkin down into 3rd place, and Nick Bennett in 4th. What a finish there.
Yeah, certainly. There's still battles going on though. Alberto Venteo is now trying to battle throughout the final corner. He powers it out. Will he keep ahead of Callum White? Yes, he will. For 8th position, a great ride from Alberto Venteo. David Myatt dropping down to 10th position in the end. Holly Harris making all the way up to 6th. So positions chopping and changing, especially in that final couple of laps.
Yeah.
And I think maybe even some of that might have been down to Matt Birkin, maybe taking some unexpected lunges, just diving down the inside and being so aggressive like we know he is.
I just can't understand how it's possible to make up that many places in so short a race. But there you have it, Matt Birkin making the most of a short, a truncated visit here to Lydd for the just for the day, and we're going to go through our final standings then. Will Howarth, there it is, winning the race by 1.7 seconds. It wasn't quite perfectly straightforward, but then the Birkins first, Matt, then Josh in 2nd and 3rd positions. Nick Bennett, Chris Yeomans, Holly Harris up, making up places from her start in 6th place, and then Mark Payne, Alberto Venteo, Callum White, David Myatt, Keaton Payne, Lamar Morgan, Gary Eldridge, Rob Gentry and Jerome Richards, your top 15 riders. 3 more finished, Isaac Greenstreet, Steve Johns and Reece Gentry after all of that. But tremendous performance, and just remarkable there from Matt Birkin.
Yeah, it was remarkable how he was able just to get that gap down. But of course, that is the end of round 1. Majority of the riders will be returning tomorrow for round 2. It's a double header this weekend here at the Lydd. We'll have rounds back to back tomorrow. 30 races coming up for you, but what a great finish that was for the Senior MiniMoto class.